Hello, my name is Sam Candy and I'm an advisor at FLM. FLM are proudly sponsoring the National League and we are really looking forward to the Super League in April, which is taking place over 4 days at the Queen's Club. This short and sweet video is simply an introduction to what we do and how we do it. Specifically, how we help people in the sport. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we help people be in the best possible financial position they can be. Specifically, we ensure that clients achieve their goals and aspirations through holistic and quality financial planning. We work with people long term to build a plan and importantly, stick to it. We also ensure to educate and improve understanding of the broader financial world to those who don't work in the industry. When it comes to understanding and education on finance, we feel the sport industry specifically is somewhat overlooked, where people have less, possibly, conversations on finances, and there are typically no centralised well-being service that would otherwise be available in a classic 9-to-5 office setting. How people are paid, career options, length of career, as well as structure, employed, self-employed, or through a limited company. These are all completely different for the sports industry. Very difficult to navigate through all of this, and that's where we come in. As the key sponsor of the IRTPA's National League, I'm available to you to help. If you are interested in learning more, upskilling financially, getting a plan together to be in a better position, please do reach out. Thank you, and looking forward to the Super League in April.
Hello and welcome back to the Queen's Club for the inaugural edition of the IRTPA Super League sponsored by FLM. We're into the second day of play and the match that we have ahead of us will be the Mavericks versus the Henchmen. So this is the third string match, and joining me in the commentary is Will Flynn. How are you doing today, Will?
Good, ready for day 2. Yeah, it's been a good day, so good event so far. Looking forward to it.
Let's go straight to the player introductions. Starting with someone you know quite well, Max Truman. Tell me a bit about Max.
Max is a support player, someone that I know very well. Handicap 7.7. That's come back down after going up, I think, fluctuating between 7 and 12 over the past year, so he's nearly at an all-time best, I think, and yeah, my eyes are playing very well at the moment.
Max was the World Junior Champion in 2022 and that Tuxedo Gold Racket Champion in 2023. He's looking to go over to Tuxedo at some point in the near future. Any word on that?
No comment. I'm sure he'd say the same.
Recently played in the Tampa Tour up at Leamington, making the final against Lewis Williams, the home professional there. And then Max's opponent today will be Nino Marola. What can you say about Nino?
Nino seems to be doing very well at the moment. He surprised quite a lot of people in the Tampa Tour at where was it? Hollyport, taking down Lewis Williams, and yeah, really showing that he's getting there. But yeah, Nino's head professional at Radley, I think. Is that right?
His senior professional, head professionals, Chris Ronaldson there.
Yeah, one of the henchmen. So I'd go Nino.
Yeah, Taylor Cup champion 2019. Early rounds of the various opens. On the form guide, also played the Tampa Tour at Leamington. Also lost to Lewis Williams. In the Marcus chair today will be Queen's Club's Bryn Sayers. And we're underway. So what can we, what kind of a match can we expect between these two players, Will? How do their styles differ?
I think they're actually got quite similar styles. Both have got a good floor game, but can bring the pace when needed. As you can see there by Nino. I think you can really flip a coin. Either player can take it today.
Just a few early exchanges here, both players still trying to find a bit of that rhythm. Matt is already finding the timbre with a bit of regularity.
Both players looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, Nino's style tends to be very relaxed on the court, just figuring out where the ball's going to be and just moving to the position. Never really looks rushed.
No, that's it.
Even when he's playing against some of the top players like we saw at the British Open this year. He's very calm and calculated, one of the great thinkers of the game amongst the top players.
I would agree. Max takes the first game.
So as we saw Max's force there, I think a few years ago it's something that Max didn't quite have in his game, and is it something he's been working on recently?
Yeah, definitely something that he's been working on. He's been getting in the gym quite a lot, and a lot of strength, and yeah, he's definitely seen massive improvements in his forcing.
And that one just tips up onto the out of court line. Plenty getting close to the out of court line over the course of this tournament so far. Yeah, Nino Marola will not pass up an opportunity to hit the grill if you feed him onto the penthouse like that. As that one just sneaks over the top of Max's head on the lob. Gets his second wheel of the game. Serve comes back off the penthouse.
Back.
That is absolutely killed by Nino there. Just gets his backhand coming down the back of the ball. So much cut on it. Max has to cut it off before the back ball, but doesn't have time to get there. I'm just going to show you the head-to-head between these two players. So they played at the British Open in the qualifying here at Queen's back in November in a match that went to 3 sets, and you can see it on the screen there. And then in that tournament, Nino then, I believe, went through Lewis Gordon in the first round and then came up against Camden in the second round. But he was one leg on Nino's mammoth run at the British Open this year. So Max will be keen to get one back in this rematch. I believe you've got a rematch of your own coming up, Will.
I do. Same from the British Open against Saki. 5 sets.
So I think on paper these two handicap-wise are just about level. Because of course Nino used to be the professional down at Seacourt, where Max is currently based, and would have been his coach through much of his junior tennis before Nino moved out to Radley. That would have been the same for you as well, I guess, then, Will?
Yeah, Nino coached both of us, actually. So it's always nice to play against the person that taught you the most. But a compliment to the coach, I guess, if you can beat him. Has it going on? And again.
So are you saying that Nino can't lose this match?
Yes.
Is that the logical conclusion of what you suggested?
Sure, we'll go with that.
seems to me that Nino's perhaps picking on that winning gallery wall quite a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
Compared to some other players and times, we see a lot more balls heading down that timber wall. What do you make of that, Will?
I think he's just trying to sort of change things up a bit. Not let Max get too comfortable in that backhand corner. Just move him around and keep him thinking. That's certainly what I try and do. I do the same sort of thing.
So you are watching the IRTPA Super League event. This is the Matthews Mavericks versus Shenkman's Henchmen. Both of these two teams came away with victories yesterday. So at the moment it's a top of the table clash. So every point is going to be vital. Just a point on the format. So the top two teams over the course of the round robin stage will progress through to the final on Saturday. And that final will be at 12 o'clock. So do come down to the Queen's Club if you are at all in the London area and want to see some fantastic tennis over the course of this week and through on to Saturday. One thing we saw a lot yesterday was with these fresh balls, they were cutting down quite a lot on this back ball. How did you find it when you were out there yesterday, last night, Will?
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to the balls, but nonetheless, a good set of balls, which is always nice. And I think well, everyone's come from different courts as well, so trying to work out what's going on does take a few games at least.
Do you think the balls are bedding in now, or they?
We will find out when I jump on later. But from what I can see, yes.
One comment that I had yesterday is when we see the top players play, like the Bryns and Bens of the world, they're often playing not with fresh balls, they're playing with balls that have been used throughout the tournament through all the first rounds. So it's somewhat strange to see Ben and Bryn playing with those fresh balls, and just changed the way the match progressed, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good finish by Nino. 2 games all. Both players looking very strong.
Yeah, Max at that last point was looking for a forehand off the timbre, it just never came.
No.
It's a shot that both he and I think Lewis Williams probably play some of the best going around, is that forehand off the timbre, not a backhand, kind of playing inside out.
Yeah.
Can you explain playing that forehand off the timbre, how different it is to playing it as a backhand?
I think as the person down the receiving end, just gives you so many more options. I mean, you're more confident generally on your forehand, so it gives you options for the galleries, forehand, backhand, or sort of straight force main, you've got a lot more options, and it keeps the other person down the serve and guessing.
Yeah, I suppose that the risk of it is that you're hitting across the line of the ball more on your forehand though.
Sure.
You've got to get your timing spot on.
You've got to have your timing.
Nino looks up for this, I think.
He does.
Sometimes he comes across as quite chill and not fussed about his playing career, but he looks like he's ready to take this one seriously.
When you've got a team that's relying on you, it changes everything, maybe.
Yeah, so how does that team dynamic change this week compared to other tournaments where you're playing as individuals or maybe just as a doubles pair? How have you found it?
Oh, I really like it, actually. Definitely brings the nerves in a bit more to start with, but it's great having a team behind you supporting. Crowd got pretty rowdy last night, but yeah, everyone seems really up for it. It's a good atmosphere.
Looking for that winning gallery again. All of you Seacourt boys love that winning gallery.
Yes, we do. I'm not really sure why, but we do. Great pace from Nina.
Yeah, so because it seems like the winning gallery is a shot that both you and Max tend to play a lot of. And there are some players who will just not touch it at all. How do you calculate that risk reward versus also just the factor of getting an endorphins rush from hitting the bells?
Well, I think the reason why we do it is, especially playing at Seacourt, sort of carving that ball across court. If it misses low, it's a rewarding shot. And
yep, on that shot there, Nino saw that Max was up at the hazard galleries and opted to play into the backhand side. But carry on.
Yeah, I think that mainly on yeah. Lost my train of thought.
No problem there.
I was watching the match.
So points here for Nino to get to back to 3-all.
Just got a few more shots as well.
watching Nino play, he doesn't get caught up in the need to hit an amazing shot and get the crowd going. He's very happy as soon as you give him the option, just hit the safest winner that he can. It's not flashy or showy, but gets the job done. It's an amazing line there, just perfectly down the side of that side wall. Never got more than a few inches away from it. So in the US National League, which is also a teams event that was last week, we saw the rule was that the teams could take a 1 minute timeout and get coaching from their team captain or other members of their team. Would you have liked to have seen that this week, or do you think that's a bit much?
No, I think that's a great idea. Being an amateur playing in the pole regime, we not quite to that extent, but speaking to the team captain is definitely a useful thing to do at times. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that introduced this week, but maybe that's something that next time can be something that
you're seeing. Here we have it anyway. The discussions going on. Taylor Matthews is the team captain for Max Truman, so even though it's not an official timeout. I mean, I don't know if they've mentioned is coaching allowed in general or not in this event, but
I'm not sure.
There's definitely some kind of discussion being had. Marola gets so much cut on that ball.
Yeah.
Just plays it so heavy.
I think he's really dominating from both sides this match so far. He's a great server and doing that, which is pretty tough to come up against.
Almost floating in that winning gallery. And then the mistake comes. He's definitely looking for a dead on there, I think. So big come on from Nino there as he finds his third dead on of the match. His forcing has been looking pretty good so far today. He's one of these guys of the modern game who can both play a decent floor game and bring out the power when he needs to. There are some players around who tend to be just floor game or just power, but Nino manages to be a bit of both.
Yeah, he's very accurate with pace, which isn't easy.
So Nino gets to a 5-3 lead. That's the biggest we've seen so far in this match. Do you think he's got a bit of momentum now? Does he look like he's got?
I think so. He seems pretty fired up. great defence by Max.
I'm guessing that's Darren Long down the side galleries.
That is.
He is known to be quite the supporter when he's on your side. He can carry the volume of the whole crowd. As Max driven finds just the corner of the dead on. Yeah, so in that eliminator down at Aiken last cycle, it's up in the ceiling. Darren went along as Taylor Matthews' hitting partner, and he alone was carrying the voice against the entire Aiken crowd who was supporting Nino. So every time that Benwick could have played, you just hear a big shout from Darren. Did Max call that one down on himself?
I don't think so. It's definitely down. Oh, that's a great read.
Fantastic read indeed. So, how do you go about playing a shot like that when it's so close to the timber? You've got so little reaction time coming off of it. How would you approach that kind of shot?
Sometimes just a swing and hope, but generally it's just get your racket prepared. Just really keep your eye on the ball and try and time it as well as you can, because it's such a difficult shot to time. So you just gotta really watch it.
When you read that, are you looking to see, is it going to be manual timbre, is it going to be timbre flush, is it going to be missing timbre? Like how close do you get to be able to read that?
It's tough. Yeah, it's not an easy one to read at all.
Even though that went into the net, just listen to the sound of that racket.
Nino takes a 6-3 lead.
Yeah, so we are playing sets to 9 today, as we are throughout this week. So that's not the first set to Nino. He's still got a little bit of work to do. What do you reckon has made the difference here in this last 3 games, Will?
I think all the games have been pretty close. No one's really on top, but Nino's just managing to get the crucial points when he was. Max has made a few mistakes. Nino's just been capitalising on those important points. Nino will be happy to get back down the serving end. Max is serving a lot tighter now, and making it difficult for Nino to keep his forcing on target.
Yeah, we see Nino with his serve has always got so much variety to it. He's probably got about 50 serves in his locker that he pulls out at various times during the match.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Which we see some players, I think the two that spring to mind, the Manchester duo of Shenkman and Long, who seemingly have 2 serves that they can reliably go to.
Yeah.
Just not as big a part of their game.
No.
that serve in particular just invites that waft into the backhand, as we saw.
Grill number 4, grill number 3.
Once again, Nino providing his own commentary there. Sometimes those unforced errors off the penthouse, they're the ones that bite the hardest, because you think you should have put that shot away.
Max showing a bit of frustration. Needs to be careful that he doesn't really get to his head too much.
Yeah, Max's frustration tends to come out in the form of just slumping the shoulders and a little bit of negative body language. It doesn't generally cause explosions as some other players might.
No.
Generally speaking, a very cool, calm character on the court.
Especially in these 9-game sets, you really haven't got time to sort of dip for a couple of games. You've got to be on it the whole time.
Nino thought he had that one when he went for the grill. Had the big wide opening on it. And then it just missed very slightly, and that was the error. A few shouty outbursts from Nino suggest a little bit of pressure coming on him, even though he is 6'3" up. So, Will, what's coming up in your own game? What are you targeting at the moment?
I am working on solo practice quite a lot. As far as tournaments go, not a lot coming up. I've got my main focus on the British Open in November. And yeah, really working towards that. Trying to get as fit as I possibly can. As sort of prepared for the British Open as I can. That is the main thing on the radar.
Do you have aspirations to reach a particular stage, or?
I'd like to say get further, just one stage further every year. Making it to the first round of the main draw last year. It'd be nice to make it through to the quarters maybe. But we will see. It depends on the draw. Yeah.
You know, staring at that wall, like it did something funny, but I think he just missed his force.
Yeah.
Got to be lucky in this game. I think a few points in the last 5-10 minutes just have gone against Nino. Just missing grills wide or hitting that dead on ledge. with Max so far up the court, you've really got to try and capitalise. As such, it was in the last gallery, so it's not terrible as a result. But great to see all the players down the side gallery. I think that's one of the things that's made this tournament feel different than the British Open. Is just the amount of time the players are spending out watching and supporting. I think sometimes at the British Open, players come, they play, they go home, and you don't really see all that much of them.
Yeah, so rare to see everyone here all together for this amount of time, which is what makes it so good.
I have to say what a great job the IRTPA have done in putting on this tournament. Lots of work by Ben Taylor-Matthews, Alex Machin, Susie Faulkner, all behind the scenes, making it all happen. Lowest volley I've seen Max hit in ages.
I don't think he expected it to take an extra bounce, maybe.
Yeah, quite possibly. You know, for a guy who does all his practice at Radley, which has a very, very low roof, Nino's hitting a lot of his high serves into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Got this wider railroad now. Nope.
Unfortunately too long and punished.
Feels like Nino's searching a bit now. I think run of 3 games we just seemingly couldn't do anything wrong, and now he's just
Serving's just not quite as tight. He's really taking advantage of that. So perhaps this change of ends may be a good thing for him. Not on 1 and 2, better than 2, but
yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
hard to say with Nino just because he changes up his. He'll change up a winning game if he feels like he can do better, or just to prevent his opponent from settling. It's a big game for Max now. I feel like once you get to 7 in a set to 9, you can run out of road pretty quickly if you're trying to claw back that, because it just doesn't give you any room for mistakes or luck or anything like that. So, again, I'm not sure how to describe it, because it's like both players have just gone into their shells just a little bit.
I know what you mean. Either player looking confident, not as much as they were. risk of taking that ball off the floor makes it it's tough.
Seeing 3 of the same serves in a row by Nino now. 3 railroads.
Yeah, he's found the rhythm.
He's got such variety in that serve. If you're not concentrating, or if you very hard to fall into a rhythm against Nino, just because something different will come and you're always going to be judging what that serve's going to do. Just you don't have to line up in the same place to play the ball or anything like that. It's always changing.
Yeah.
That particular shot there that he just played is aiming at the nick. That force at the nick works particularly well at Radley. I don't know if he played much there, but rolling them out of the nick is just the Radley special shot. Something that Nino openly admits to practicing and playing as an option, whereas it's seen as a bit of a negative shot by some. Both players are still looking very tentative. It's neither of them has yet reached out and just taken the match. Be interesting if this was a best of 3 or a best of 5, because it feels like the kind of match that could very much swing wildly both ways. It has to have a 6-2, 2-6 kind of feel to it. I think that particular shot will be good for Nino. Just hit a few grills and
get the confidence back.
Yeah, just feel like you're playing good tennis.
Yeah.
Not sure that's what he feels like right now. I think he'll come off with a few scathing words of his performance, even though he's almost outnumbering Max in games 2-1.
Yeah.
That shot there, you just expect him to step up and really hit hard and not just float it into the top of the net tape.
Nino is playing a lot back cross court. I think he knows that Max is expecting that ball to go down the line and keep him guessing. He's doing it well.
So this is the first match of the day. The winner of this will get 1 point for their team and 1 point for the MVP rankings. The next match, which will follow after this, which is scheduled for 3 o'clock, is the doubles of this fixture. That was between Taylor Matthews and Gale for the Mavericks against Long and Shenkman for the Henchmen. That promises to be a very exciting match. I was commenting just before the match started in the bar that I don't think necessarily either of or any of those 4 players would consider themselves a spectacularly strong doubles player compared to their singles player. They're both, all 4 of them are very much, probably you'd expect them to be playing more at the back of the court. So it will be interesting to see how those formations line up in that particular matchup. As I said, Shenkman and Long have experience playing together. Played the US Open. So that match will follow immediately after this one. So don't go anywhere.
Just hits the band up to lose the chase.
If you could take a 1 minute timeout and talk to Nino, what would you say to him right now? Given that he's your teammate.
It's a good question. I would probably just tell him to take each point as it comes. Try and keep that serving end if he can, because that's where I think he was sort of putting the most pressure on this. Because he did sort of find that rhythm with that railroad. And it's just falling off. Yeah. I think just to keep the serving end and
Yeah.
positive.
Sometimes when you're just 2 games away in a set to 8 or a set to 9 like this, you can feel like the points will come and the games will come inevitably, and it can be easy to forget you've got to put the work in to get there. Max is chasing this down now. You know, at one point had a 3-game lead.
That's more like it.
Just that down the line, floaty dead on. Is that the one that Shenkman described as his signature shot?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think in general, Nino's just making a lot more errors than he was when he strung those 3 games together, and perhaps earlier in this match. There's just a lot more that's hitting those top 2-3 inches of the net.
Yeah.
Perhaps just needs to be a little bit more conservative, aim about a foot higher. Just make sure he's getting the ball back over as the first priority.
Yeah.
You can't do anything if you don't put the ball in play.
That is true.
So hazard chase now. That was a great result from a hazard chase. You go cross court like that on the backhand on the hazard chase, you have to hit tambo or grill, and Nino finds the grill. If you miss that shot, then your opponent has a lot to punish you with. serve like that, your opponent has a lot to punish you with too. Big juice game now. Do you think this is the equivalent of a 4-2 game in a set to 6 at the moment? I think a juice game in a 4-2 is just, there's always a big moment.
Yeah.
And this is much the same. You cannot find that height on that high serve. He just keeps putting it in the beams. And again, it's like he practices that serve at Radley. And Radley is one of the more difficult courts to serve that high serve on.
Yeah, it doesn't quite add up.
Yeah, I can't quite tell from my position. Is he hitting the rafters, or is he hitting? He's not hitting above the out of court line. His length's right, but his height's wrong.
Yeah, the height's wrong. Yeah, it's just going straight up.
And when we see Bryn Sayers serve that serve, he gets it above the height of the rafters, but he can get it in between the rafters with unnerving accuracy.
Loose serve from Max. And punished.
This match is just asking for one of these two players to step up and really take it head on. And that might do it for Max. 2 goals in a row will boost his confidence a bit. This one is going to come down to the wire.
Nina seems to have just slowed that force down a little bit, and with a bit more accuracy, which I think he needs to do. Continue doing going forward.
See, he doesn't mind that shot.
No, not at all.
He's not put it on the penthouse, which is probably your first concern. He's got the chase. Yeah, it's not a long chase, but still a chase. That's a bit of an unfortunate bounce. Really just cracked him up for room. So, I don't know if you remember some time ago, I put out a video asking top players who's the top real tennis badger. And everyone said Rob Shenkman and Lewis Williams. I want to put forward a nomination of Nino being right up there.
I think that would be fair.
I think he can slip under the radar in that aspect as well, but he absolutely loves it.
Yeah, he is probably one of the most knowledgeable in the game. Just finds the edge of the timbre. It's unfortunate for Max.
well judged from Nino. He just did a quick check to see where he was in relation to that back wall. Didn't want to end up putting his racket into the dead on and ruining his backswing.
Giving him a big game, 6 lead now.
Yeah, it just seems to have just woken up a little bit. It just seems a little bit more sprightly around the court. Since he floated those couple of dead-ons from that receiving end at the start of the last game, it just seems to have just focused his attention a little bit more. Don't know what it is in particular, but just seems a little bit more awake. Started to change his pace a little bit more as well.
Yeah, that's it. He's not trying to finish that straight away. Just keeps plugging away.
So that brings up a match point. You see it in the background there. Taylor Mackey's off to... Oh, you can't miss that, Nino. Taylor Mackey's off to go get ready for his doubles match, which will follow immediately after this one, which should be an absolute cracker.
We are on time as well. Nearly. Not far,
so Nino Marola takes that. A big come on there. The scoreline looked relatively comfortable in the end. Big run of it in the middle. Hit a bit of a mill of it in this the third, but comes home strong to take the first match of the day for the Mavericks, and they will move to the top of the table. So we'll have the doubles for you next. Will Flynn, it's been an absolute pleasure having you commentate with me. I imagine you're going to go and start your preparations for your singles match, which will follow after this doubles.
I will.
So
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much, and we will return very soon for this doubles match. Bye for now.
Hello, my name is Sam Candy and I'm the advisor at FLM. FLM are proudly sponsoring the National League, and we are really looking forward to the Super League in April, which is taking place over 4 days at the Queen's Club. This short and sweet video is simply an introduction to what we do and how we do it. Specifically, how we help people in sport. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we help people be in the best possible financial position they can be. Specifically, we ensure that clients achieve their goals and aspirations through holistic and quality financial planning. We work with people long term to build a plan and, importantly, stick to it. We also ensure to educate and improve understanding of the broader financial world to those who don't work in the industry. When it comes to understanding and education on finance, we feel the sport industry specifically is somewhat overlooked, where people have less, possibly, conversations on finances, and there are typically no centralised wellbeing service that would otherwise be available in a classic 9-to-5 office setting. How people are paid, career options, length of career, as well as structure, employed, self-employed, or through a limited company. These are all completely different for the sports industry. Very difficult to navigate through all of this, and that's where we come in. As the key sponsor of the IRTPA's National League, I'm available to you to help. If you are interested in learning more, upskilling financially and getting a plan together to be in a better position, please do reach out. Thank you, and looking forward to the Super League in April. Hello, my name is Sam Candy and I'm an advisor at FLM. FLM are proudly sponsoring the National League and we are really looking forward to the Super League in April, which is taking place over 4 days at the Queen's Club. This short and sweet video is simply an introduction to what we do and how we do it. Specifically, how we help people in sport. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we help people be in the best possible financial position they can be. Specifically, we ensure that clients achieve their goals and aspirations through holistic and quality financial planning. We work with people long term to build a plan and importantly, stick to it. We also ensure to educate and improve understanding of the broader financial world to those who don't work in the industry. When it comes to understanding and education on finance, we feel the sport industry specifically is somewhat overlooked, where people have less, possibly, conversations on finances and there are typically no centralised wellbeing service that would otherwise be available in a classic 9-to-5 office setting. How people are paid, career options, length of career, as well as structure, employed, self-employed or through a limited company. These are all completely different for the sports industry. Very difficult to navigate through all of this, and that's where we come in. As the key sponsor of the IRTPA's National League, I'm available to you to help. If you are interested in learning more, upskilling financially and getting a plan together to be in a better position, please do reach out. Thank you and looking forward to the Super League in April. Hello, my name is Sam Candy and I'm an advisor at FLM. FLM are proudly sponsoring the National League and we are really looking forward to the Super League in April, which is taking place over 4 days at the Queen's Club. This short and sweet video is simply an introduction to what we do and how we do it. Specifically, how we help people in sport. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we help people be in the best possible financial position they can be. Specifically, we ensure that clients achieve their goals and aspirations through holistic and quality financial planning. We work with people long term to build a plan and importantly, stick to it. We also ensure to educate and improve understanding of the broader financial world to those who don't work in the industry. When it comes to understanding and education on finance, we feel the sport industry specifically is somewhat overlooked, where people have less, possibly, conversations on finances and there are typically no centralised wellbeing service that would otherwise be available in a classic 9-to-5 office setting. How people are paid, career options, length of career, as well as structure, employed, self-employed or through a limited company. These are all completely different for the sports industry. Very difficult to navigate through all of this, and that's where we come in. As the key sponsor of the IRTPA's National League, I'm available to you to help. If you are interested in learning more, upskilling financially and getting a plan together to be in a better position, please do reach out. Thank you, and looking forward to the Super League in April.
Welcome back to the Queen's Club for the IRTPA Super League. My name is Ben Gatenwick. I'll be joined by a couple of co-commentators very shortly, but for now let's get on with some player introductions. You're watching the IRTPA Super League, sponsored by FLM. This is the fixture between the Mavericks and the Henchmen. This is doubles fixture, so we are seeing the 1 and 2 seeds in each pot. In each team playing against each other in the doubles. So let's begin with some introductions. Starting with Ben Taylor-Matthews, who is the professional from Bristol. Playing off a doubles handicap of 1.7 and a doubles world ranking of 5. So he will be off to the World Doubles Championships in Chicago in a couple of weeks' time. He's playing that tournament with Bryn Sayers. Made the championship of that World Doubles back in 2011. And this one opens in both the US and the French at doubles. He'll be looking to bring that experience to this match today. He's partnering with Levi Gale, doubles world rank number 15, playing out of Prested. He's moved there in the last 18 months or so to the reinvigorated court there, and he's playing with a brand new Prested coloured racket. Levi, best accomplishment there is making the Australian Open final 2 years ago. He'll be looking to push through into the latter stages of those Open competitions in the years ahead. It's the first time that these two have paired together in a competitive doubles match. And this is the case with a lot of these Super League matches. You end up with pairings that you wouldn't normally expect to see together, and can make it quite interesting. Their opponents today, starting with Rob Shenkman, the team captain, doubles world rank 11, top ranked amateur in the world, playing, well, top ranked amateur under IRTPA rank. He's not on handicap, that would be killing both. His doubles handicap is significantly worse than his singles handicap. Shenkman has reached the quarterfinals of 3 of the 4 majors, and was the finalist at the British Amateur in 2023, but got knocked out at the quarterfinal stage in this year's event. Today he is partnering with Darren Long. Darren is at world rank number 12. There's a double handicap of 2.9. Both these two from the Manchester Tennis and Racket Club. And Darren, again, reaching that US Open final in 2018. And peppered with quarter-final appearances at the other events. These two are playing together for the whole season. So they played at the French and the British, and over at the US Open, where they had a fantastic run, beating Taylor-Matthews and Sayers in 5 sets. It was something of an upset. And then coming a cropper to Riviere and Chisholm. Our marker today will be Neil Mackenzie, who will be marking from the net. It's not something we see a lot of anymore on the doubles court these days. It's no longer permitted at the British Open finals. But this is not a T&RA event, this is an IRTPA event, so the rules are slightly different. So he's permitted to mark from the net in the doubles. So we'll see how these two line up their formations. Imagine that Taylor Matthews, as the stronger player, will play back. And Gale, as the weaker player, will play forward. Gale normally would be a backcourt player.
Taylor Matthews, Mavericks. 179. Double.
So Taylor Matthews to start serving to Darren Long, who immediately knocks in a dead on. So on, interesting that Darren is elected to receive Ben's serve. Because on paper, Darren is the number 2 player in the partnership. Whereas Ben is the number 1 in that partnership. Fantastic scramble by Levi there. Just using his speed to get up to the ball. Finds the winning gallery off the post. Great shot there by Levi.
50-40.
Perfect angle on the ball. Very hard shot to do because there's so many variables depending on how the ball comes off the wall. For it again. Find that width on the volley. It does feel like, at least in these initial stages, Darren is a bit of the target over Shenkman. Let's see how these two shape up from the service end. You have these two players known for a wide variety of serving. Bit of tactics discussion going on down the hazards is the cause of the delay. So chase worse than 3 now.
love. 1 love.
So the first game goes the way of the Mancunian duo from the Henchmen. A little bit lucky there not to get a ball to the face off Shenkman's frame. At the moment, Darren's playing the backhand side, moving up to the galleries. He's playing it very deep at the moment. Very, very long rally. You get these long rallies in doubles matches sometimes. Just because both players cover the ball. You either have to wait for a mistake or a winner. That almost flies into the winning gallery. What a fluke that would have been. Instead it's Levi who deposits that into the dead on. Slower pace of that bubble, maybe an extra little bounce or so. That's what caught Levi out there. There's already a number of bubbles that just slipped past Shenkman and Long. Used to the size and shape of the dead-on. That said, both have played at Queen's plenty over the last few years. Shenkman coming down for the British Amateur every year.
And that is the game.
Looks like they're going to a bit of a change in formation now. Oh, that's the power from Taylor Matthews. So Shenkman now opting for that backhand side. Yes, because this change of formation has just confused Ben a little bit. So we are about to be joined in the commentary by Lewis Williams, who is the head professional at the Leamington Tennis Court Club, and Alex Machin, who is the junior professional at the Radley Wheel Tennis Club. Alex has been recently taken over from Leslie Ronaldson as the National League coordinator and has been managing all the divisions 3 through 10 of the National League this year. He's done a fantastic job at that for the first time, as well as helping behind the scenes run this event. He's here on with the suit and tie. So, Lewis, Alex, welcome. How do you see this match going?
All this one, to be honest with you, Ben. We looked back at the US Open. We saw Darren, Long, and Shenkman play Ben and Bryn Sayers. They managed to overcome them in that match, which was probably a little bit of an upset. But Levi, very good doubles player, very good net man. I'm sure Ben will be keen to set the record straight. That was a one-off. So it'll be an interesting one. Tough to call. Pretty tight start to the match so far. 2-1. What was your prediction leading into this one, Alex?
I think it was edging towards Darren and Shenkman, because they've been playing together for quite a while now. They've been good friends. I think Levi and Ben have got to work out how to play together.
Interesting. I was leaning towards the servers, Ben and Levi, so that's how close it is. No one particularly confident in their guesses. Oh, bit of a miscommunication down that end. Both battling for it. Maybe you're into something with that. They've got to figure out who's doing what.
Maybe by 3 or they might have worked it out.
Read the play well, went up there to intercept it, and then maybe got a bit carried away with his shot, but starting to see it. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about the National League, Super League element, because you're obviously the coordinator for National League in general. How did this all come about?
So this is basically a replacement of Divisions 1 and 2.
Okay.
That's becoming more of a team event to get all the players in the same building at the same time, and make it a bit more of a team feel rather than having just 2 of you play around each of the courts around this season. Full event over the 4 days. Makes a bit more competitive edge.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of people here sort of cheering on the teammates and a bit more, been a little bit rowdy at times.
Absolutely.
Which has made for some good atmosphere. I think you're right. Having a central location here at Queen's in London means everyone's at one place. People can come and watch. Hopefully, the sponsors have felt like they've got a good amount of people to speak to. Good exposure to the product.
Some interesting matchups as well. Some matches and some singles and doubles that you don't usually see with each other.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we see Darren and Shanks play together a lot, but I think it's the first time we've seen Levi and Ben play together. I played a doubles yesterday. It was the first time Bertie and I had played together alongside Nino and Will Flynn played for the first time together. So you're right, it's a new partnership, which makes for interesting viewing. It's all been pretty tight as well so far. Day 1 there were 2-1 results, so both coming down to deciding matches, and then so far today we had quite a tight first match for Nino and Roller overcoming Max Truman, I think 9-6. Points to pull to a 3-1 lead. Not quite able to take it. Solid doubles play there from Ben, finding the galleries, securing the serve. Good defence from Robert. Turning into attack. Good play. Not always known for his target hitting, but probably one of his more underrated assets. I think, since he's got a little bit better, he used to be just a very steady, solid player, very few errors, and now I think he's sort of combining that with a bit more attack. So So finding the dead on, finding the grill, picking some more winners than we.
8 grills out of 10, so he was ready for it.
That's pretty good numbers. You'd take that, wouldn't you? Steve Agono.
I know.
Last gallery to beat. What are they going to serve here, Alex?
Either bowl we were doing. Probably them by the looks of it.
Fault I would have gone for.
Well, yeah.
Big there. Down the middle. Oh, what a lovely way to finish it. Great rest there from both pairs. Seeing Taylor Matthews just creeping up the court a little bit on that forehand side.
They've sorted out that communication. They know where they're going.
That's right. We're seeing that play a lot more now, aren't we? The player on the forehand corner coming up to sort of cut off the cut shot. Seems to be more common. Oh, great read. Straight. Jumped a bit early there, Dan. Michael Jordan hang time.
Service advantage. Game, 2 games all.
2 games all, tight stuff. Not much separating these pairs. Who's your prediction to make the final then, Alex? Putting you on the spot here. Which pair, or which team, sorry?
When I saw the draft, I think out of team competition.
You had what, sorry?
When I first saw the draft, when it was done, to me it looked like Henchmen and Mavericks.
Matthews, Mavericks, and Shenkman Central, they were your 2 favourites.
Yeah.
So that's the 2 teams playing here today in this first fixture. And currently it's Matthews Mavericks 1-0 up in the fixture. In this one, okay, interesting. I'm obviously very offended as part of Fahey's forces.
Sorry, I should be backing you.
We'll hope to prove you wrong with a win later.
Yeah, how are you feeling about your match later?
Looking forward to it, yeah. Lewis Gord and I had a really tight, close match last time we played at Preston Hall in the Tambour Tour. So that should be good fun.
You're reigning champion at the moment, aren't you? For Leamington, for Tambour Tour?
I did win the most recent Tambour Tour, yeah. And then I think overall standings, Levi and I joint first. So, with 1 more to go, Desmond Dean next month. So yeah, no, all good fun. Levi was off at the Leamington one. He's had some tennis elbow issues. You see, he's sporting that strap currently, so he hasn't really been on quite as much as he would normally be in the lead up to this. But he looks to be holding his own okay. He had a 9-7 win over Neil Mackenzie yesterday, and obviously playing very well in his doubles here.
Must be those new orange Preston rackets.
Yeah, they're talk of the town, aren't they? The bright orange rackets. I'm here for it. I think they're good. They're a lot better than the historic Preston Hall rackets, which was a sort of dark terracotta brown number that wasn't so nice. That's a hell of a shot from Ben, straight down the middle at good pace. Worse than the 5 here then. What we're going to see? Cut volley? It's got to be. Maybe the boast. Beaten down on the floor. Seem to have settled a bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
The receivers.
Worked out that game.
Defence. Just snatched a little bit of that one. Ben's enjoying his doubles at the moment. They've got the World Doubles coming up in Chicago later this month, which I'm sure will be a fantastic spectacle. And Ben Taylor Matthews, Bryn Sayers teaming up for that event, and I know they've been working on some doubles tactics and strategies. Wow, all red. Oh, that's unlucky. He did so well to read off the bounder.
Receivers lead by 3 games to 2.
Interesting to see, what changes he's making. We talked about them coming up in the forehand side a little bit more. See how that pans out here. Darren picked up. Close, didn't it?
Not supposed to go.
And he took off one of Matthew's chest there. On it. So who have we got on next, Alex? So this is obviously the second match of the Mavericks versus the Henchmen. Who's lining up the third? Oh, here we go. Ben's put it on screen for us. You can't get this one wrong.
So Zach Edel and Will Flint.
So that's another one that was played here in the British Open, wasn't it? I think it was a 5-setter.
Yeah, it was a long one.
So that was a bit of an epic back then. So we'll see how that one fares this time. Can Mr. Flynn get some revenge? I think the neutral would like to see the Henchmen win this one, meaning that one's no, sorry, actually the Mavericks.
They've already won up, yeah.
That's
so
right.
The Mavericks want to win this one to stay in the game.
Okay. Both gone for it. Just trying to find that hazard gallery to win the chase, wasn't it?
They were being very brave marking in the net for this one.
Yeah, again, talking about people getting practice for the World Doubles, I believe that Mackenzie is doing the marking, or at least some of the marking in Chicago for the World Doubles, so
Bradley have just sent their set of balls for the World Doubles, so hopefully they hold up.
Did you do a good job?
Well, I hope so, but we'll find out.
I'm sure there have not been any complaints in the past. Quality control by Mr. Rollinson, and I'm sure is very, very hot on that. Thorough indeed. Mavericks 30-15 Henchmen's tight. Defense.
Tactical lead.
Yep, securing that service end. I know Levi's a fan of that high back wall smack into the to get the chase line to win the hazard, so I'm sure they'll have to be cautious of that. Red. Another hazard. Okay. See if he deploys that tactic at all here. What do you think's been the change here? So obviously, initially Robin, when I first walked in, Robin and Darren were up, and then
yeah, they were almost had 3-1.
It seems that Ben and Levi have sort of started to get a bit of
Cut
foothold.
out mistakes, worked it out.
Few errors, a few errors
at the start.
Okay, so cut down the error count. Anything else that you've noticed?
Defending, like they're bringing the heat to the point a little bit more. Be a little bit more aggressive together. Something they've worked out what they're trying to do behind each other.
Yeah, I think it looked to me that Ben's some good attacking straight forwards from Ben. and I think you hit the nail on the head early with a sort of first time as a duo.
Talk of the shot.
Killed it. Even on the volley.
His eyes lit up for that one.
Had a feeling it was coming. I think just they're starting to look a bit more comfortable with each other, and who's taking what shot, all that sort of thing. So, which, as you said, quite rightly makes a difference. Great volley from Shenkman. Great heat from Matthews. He's the captain now. So far, the only player in Fahey's forces to win a match. Fahey. We're going to change that today, hopefully. Good, solid doubles. Chance here for the Mavericks to pull to a 4-2 lead, which would be, like we say, quite good going after a slightly slow start. And in these first and nine game sets, a slow start can really hurt you, but they've done well.
And for most valuable player, every game counts. So.
Absolutely. So talk us through that then. So there's a most valuable player prize overall, is that right?
Overall, so just a single person, not a team. So.
Okay, so the person that has the best win rate and game difference.
Yes.
Okay. At the end of the event, gets a racket or some sort of extra prize. Okay. All to play for out there.
Service lead 4 games to 2.
Good turnaround. What a great rest. Fantastic play from the players. Lovely volley from Levi to finish hitting the main wall timber.
Darren has some real power off that backhand. Even off the timber, just trying to
squash
drive it down.
players, Alex, you've got to watch out for them. These vicious backhands. And forehands. Route 1 from Darren there, working. Racket. Come for the back wall post. Tough ball there. Off the timber, that's an after, isn't it? Timber, it goes flush to the back. Not many options left. Good hands.
Big point to take a big lead.
Potential to provide a 5-2. Looking, I would say, in control now. Great lead from Taylor Matthews. Great cover from Levi. Darren just does not miss those. Trademark Darren Long. You saw that against Claire Fahey yesterday in his singles, just seemed like he didn't miss. hands there. Interesting service points one stats. 36% for Shenkman.
They've been down that scene quite a while.
Yeah, it seems like
Game 7.
it is 5-2.
5 games to 2.
So Alex, tell me, you're a improving young professional with a high teen handicap. Is that
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yeah,
So,
yes.
what do you think the difference is between these sorts of players and yourself? What anything that in particular you're working on to sort of try and get into the Super League next season? Or?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing at the moment is definitely match experience. I think for everyone here, they've played quite a few opens and they've kind of their handicaps all sailed down while playing a bit more. So I've only been playing properly for about 2 years, 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Trying to squeeze in matches here and there whilst trying to learn from scratch coaching and all the rest of being a pro.
Sure.
Fitting more games in now is on the list to get that kind of experience and match.
So getting to a few more tournaments and playing a few more matches. And it's a bit of a chicken and egg thing, I guess. So some of the events, you've got to be at a certain handicap. You mentioned the British Open there, you've got to, I think, 15.
Sneak down a couple more points, yeah.
Okay, so that's the goal. Get into there, a few more matches under your belt, and then no excuse as to not being in the Super League next year. Then.
Absolutely.
Good. Right then, what the serve's going to do to change things up. They've not won quite as many points from the service end as you'd expect, so see if they can pull something together here. Hazard defend, watch out people in the top gallery. Very difficult width, tough to save single tambour or grill there. Shot horror that Darren Long and teammate are leading the grill stats. Lovely volley from Shenkman. A bit of frustration from the service end. You see with doubles, these rallies, the ball is just hitting every surface of the court. It just goes all over the place, doesn't it? It's like a pinball machine out here on the doubles court these days. Good pick up from Gale there. Want this, don't they? Shenkman's Henchmen not backing down just yet.
Slight change of pace down the receiving end.
Just some good offense there when the chance is there. Ben's managed to find a few good straight forces. Pick up. Another one, well defended.
Getting good success down that middle.
Yeah, Ben, give it a good whack in Taylor Matthews, and he's been pretty accurate with it as well so far this match. Got him. Stroke, Lego. On the leg or foot or something similar. I'd like to see a replay on that one, Ben, if that's possible. I'd like to keep replaying that one to Mr. Shenkman. You'll enjoy that. Great defence from Levi, good athleticism, and then finishing it with a very good straight four. You mentioned that one down the middle going pretty well. Oh, is this it? We're looking at replays of something. We'll shout out to our sponsors instead, so just keep me on your toes, make sure you made a note of who to go to for your financial planning. Hazard yard. Games have been tight, haven't they? But it just feels like Ben and Levi just seem to just be having enough to just get over the line in each game. Still away to a 6-2 lead.
Just getting used to this 9-game format. Can't stop here, got to keep going.
That's right, so you absolutely, this would normally be the end of a set, but for those just tuning in, you may not already be aware, this is the first of 9 games, so a slightly different mental challenge. Got to keep on pushing. If you're 6-2 down, it's not over just yet. Got a bit more time.
Change from being 6-2 down or where it gets 6 and they start clawing back.
Did see that survey off there? For Caterpillar. A little bit late on that volley. Tough at that pace there. That's pretty quick as well. Route 1. Dodgeball out there. What's this? Is this Ben just teasing us with talk of a replay? Slow-mo just promoting Schenk's accountancy on the back of his top there, I think. For all your self-assessment needs.
No t-shirts for Henchmen.
I think it was this rally. Is it this ball? Is this the one? Yeah, I think he's gone to jump up. He's gone to jump up, and it's. I think is it this one? He's gone. This ball goes to jump up, and I think it's his foot. That's still on the ankle. Good replays, Ben. Appreciate that. Showing the people what they really want to see. Floating that into the dead on.
13, half yard less than 6.
Good shot from Darren. Yet another grill.
14-15.
And another grill. It's a grill machine. This is what he does. 3-6, and as you just said, you can't stop at 6-2, right? They're still in this. And all of a sudden, they win another game. Momentum with them, it's tough to call again. Another great straight force from Ben. Finding his target there, good heat. reminder there that over the beams here at Queen's is out of court. Well, through the beams, I should say. If it goes above but not through a beam, that's fine. But through a beam is out. Darren asking where is he, as if there's any other option for him other than just taking the grill. That's all he does. A grill machine. Very impressive. Good bobble there. What they're made of then? Let's see. Can they stay in it?
So far.
Keep battling.
It's nice to have quite a few supporters from that are playing in divisions 3 to 10 National League already coming to watch down in the deadline.
Yeah, there've been quite a few different people from different clubs. I've seen players from Preston, Oxford, Leamington, just to name a few. Queens, of course. There's been quite a few from all over.
Yeah, we've had probably one of the biggest turnouts now. 270 players over 56 teams.
Okay. Wow, that is a lot of numbers.
And looking forward to more joining us next year.
I believe that Division 10 is a fairly new addition. Was it the first or second year that it's been?
Yeah, second or third, I think.
Second or third, okay.
It's nice to give everyone the opportunity to have some proper competitive talent.
Absolutely, I know for one, over at Leamington we've got a team led by Rachel Hollington in Div 10 that are enjoying it, and I think
made it through to the semis.
they have. Cambridge away coming up, they're looking forward to a rematch there, so it's good, like you say, get people travelling around, playing different courts. I think that's one of the parts of the game that I've really enjoyed, is going to different clubs and meeting people and playing all over, which makes lots of good fun competitive tennis. So National League's great. Good to see people enjoying it. And again, thanks to FLM for making it possible. Right.
Game 7.
Got a bit of snug on him there, didn't it?
6-4-6.
That straight course
4-6.
again. On the comeback.
Feels like a big game there, doesn't it? The difference between 7-4, 5-6 feels pretty pivotal in the first to 9. They've done well, haven't they, Shenkman and Long, just to sort of stem the bleeding, for want of a better phrase. It's just they were sort of just being edged out of a few games in a row.
Missed a few targets here and there, and then lost the lead, and then started a little bit more clinical.
Again, another
That
Bertie Vallat straight force, straight down the middle. Hitting well. He just sort of overran that one a little bit in the end, didn't he? Some good shoveling back from Levi there to stay in the point earlier on. He's sort of well known on the circuit for using every part of the racket to get the ball over.
Use what you pay for.
Absolutely. All credit to him. Good solid shot from Tony Matthews there. Pivotal game, 30-15. There's no chases. Quite a quick game to go 7-4. Not interested in serving, are they? They'll just keep pumping away.
Switching. When Ben receives serve and switches to the other corner, it's working quite well.
has been, yes. Shot and just flirting with the out of court one. Oh, he's missed one. Ben was surprised. Oh, a bit of funny spin on that. Good rest. Bit of everything swinging away.
15 all.
Wow, legend out.
The right idea. Right then. Oh, scramble. Oh, that's very good defence from Gale there. Quite now he's managed to get that one back in play.
Oh, I should say he uses every part of the racket.
Well, that is true, and then solid from Ben finding the gallery there, just get out of that rally as soon as possible. Points won, 41 to 34, pretty close. Doesn't take much, does it, to put away a couple of games lead? Yeah, getting a few comments here on the Marcus haircut. I think he's just trying to replicate the Andrew Lyons look. There we go then, 5-7.
5 games to 7.
Just the Mavericks just getting ahead but struggling to really just close it out. We've seen that a couple of times here. Fantastic play from Gale. Some really good volleys. That one looked certain to be heading into last gallery. His go-go gadget arms has managed to get that. Players enjoying themselves on court. Good to see. Lovely volley based to Tamba. Cheers a mess. Pace from long there. All of a sudden. Again, direct, through one. Working from there though. we've got a replay of here. Good volley there. There it is. Oh, great pick out the gallery. Good effort. Matthews could have done with a few more inches there. And for the first time, I'm sure he's heard that as another height joke. Good reach from Levi there, though, getting right into the gallery. Back to the present, 40-15 to the Henchmen. A reasonable chase. Just went a bit early there.
It's quite short for Ben. He's liking that horse.
Hey, 5, 30-40.
Not sure I mind that too much. They've been doing right down the receiver's end, haven't they? MVP rankings, Marola played 2-1-2. Fairness to him, the only one on the list who's played 2. But no, it's good start from him. Games 1, 18 games.
All of the Henchmen at the top 3.
40-30.
Yes, Henchmen looking pretty. They had a decent win yesterday, didn't they? 2 9-3s in there. There we have it.
6 games.
6-7, hotting up here at the business end of the set. Oh, okay. Little topspin roll on that volley. Great cover. Out the body. Bit of a panic. All of a sudden. Feels like any moment ago we were talking about it being 6-2.
Yeah.
And the importance of
crucial game.
Really, knocking it home in this first and 9. Allowed the Henchmen to sort of get into it a little bit. And cooling off that ball. Yeah, from the band. I want this game. 4 winning galleries there. Big numbers. Very bit of doubles when there's someone out there defending it. Oh, good hands.
That's a decent line,
Big point.
40-30.
Bring it back to them.
Unforced error. Both head in hands from the receiver's end. Good serve. Oh, it's rolled in the neck. Stayed low. very close to in dead on there. That's got to hit top bando, I'm assuming. Again, it's another one if Ben's worth his salt. We might get a replay of that in a minute. It's giving me a wry smile as I'm calling him out. Levi looked like he had a little slip. He sort of read it, went to cover it and struggled. A fairly reasonable chase to defend for the Henchmen. See what they can do. Great whip from Taylor Matthews there. Ooh. Hugging the main wall. Deuce. Little dribble. Good hands. Great beat. The nick at the back over.
Catching up on point 1, 43 to 48.
Oh, creeping over. Shenkman was looking up at the cameras. Unhappy, feeling a bit hard done by. Had a dead on edge, we believe, yet to be confirmed, but that's what we think happened. And then a net tape against both at advantage up. See if they can beat this chase then. Bananas out, they're first to 9. Got to keep fuel up, people. There we have it.
7 games all.
7 games all. That's what the crowd want to see. Tie matches. Time there has a gallery. I think we all know what he wanted there.
Count up to 5.
Add to the winning gallery tally, yeah, absolutely. Good straight pace from Darren. Neither of the servers wanted anything to do with that one. Who can blame him? No wonder we went different ways on the call. It's a tough match, tight match.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should ask Mr. Fahey what his prediction is for who's going to close this one out. I think, Rob. Who's closing this one out? Oh, Controverter thinks the Mavericks are going to struggle. So they were the ones that were 6-2 up. The Henchmen have started to get their way into it. And Rob thinks they're going to go all the way. Let's see. I mean, they have only won 1 out of the last 5 games, so there's, you know, some good basis for that call.
Loving that grill today.
I think every day, it's bread and butter for down on the grill. Interesting choice there. The sort of railroad volley into the main wall. Not always a high percentage option, that. Pay the price. Good play all round. What a rest.
30-15.
Another net tape. Another one. If he's not using the wood, he's using the net tape. Levi Gale. Effective though, we must admit.
Oh, absolutely. Use every part of the court.
Every part of the racket, every part of the court. We'll do anything. It's just a winner. Right then. Second gallery to defend for the Mavericks. Sporting some lovely Tampa team kit as well, I must say. Very good stuff. That's a great volley. Turning out from soft hands there. Better
Strong lead.
Same ball again. Single one on that point. 8-7. Just about doing enough, aren't they? Out of court anyway, so just in case there was any uncertainty about that, all that cool, it went out.
7 that damn well.
Yeah, he is. It's another good one. Ooh. That's why he's got a 92 backhand on the real tennis cards. Finds his spot. Doesn't miss it often. Chances here. 2 points away. Another very good demi.
15-30.
Got himself out of jail with that boast. Bad chase there, better than 4.
15-31 check.
Cut himself out that receives it, and he seems to be struggling a little bit with the serve, doesn't he? Like you said, his demi's looking tasty. Oh, nice change up. Thought he was going main wall for that roll again, he sort of found the gap down the middle.
Big point.
Darren calling him off it. Not the nicest bounce, bringing up the first match point of this one. They had a 6-2 lead and then faced a few problems for the next few games. So it goes 7-all, and now 8-7, 40-30, the first match point. Better than 4 to beat. Here we go then. Goes with the bobble. It's a very good bobble to defend the first match point. Gets a nod of approval from Mr. Fahey, that one. And that is out of court. One, only 4 different. And there it is, 8 games all. Receivers have won 3 more points over the course of the match. Here we are, down to a deciding game, the first one of the Super League. Use your money on Alex.
I've got to stick with the Henchmen, I think.
And I'll stick with the Mavericks after that shot. 15 rounds Mavericks.
Spoke too soon.
Lovely force from Tony Matthews. Anybody's game. Oh! I didn't see that coming.
15 all.
Interesting shot. Interesting result. Chase the line. Darren got to the position where he just couldn't hit it. It was already gone over the net. It's a better serve. Great shot. I was going to say. Poor mark from Mackenzie there. Tough one. Very effective there, that shot. Not always the best one, it's just pinging around all over the place, but that one nice and short, just heading into the stroke zone, bringing up a couple of match points to themselves. Can they convert? Saved one, got 2 of their own.
40-15 receivers, chase the line.
Chase the line to beat.
Are they going to employ Levi's tactic?
And play for the chase off. And play for the chase off.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Could be wrong. That is a fantastic shot to win the match. Fantastic bottle under pressure there. 9-8 to the Henchmen, which puts us at 1 match all going into the.
I think 2 love.
Have I got that wrong again?
2 love Henchmen.
2 love. You're right. 2 love Henchmen. So securing the victory. But I'm sure the Mavericks will be keen to get one back. Because as we found out, it's all been pretty close.
Yeah.
Both teams managed to get the wins yesterday, and they did that 6-2 down. Came back. Here we go. We've got the match summary here. Fairly even count of winning openings, just across different ones. Points won, exactly the same number of points won. And then we've got just what else we got there? Points fairly similar. Serves won 46%. This is late hour and 8 minutes. It's as close as it gets, that one really. Fantastic match. Yeah, I just feel for the Mavericks they're a bit 6-2 up there, and then the Henchmen just finding their stride, coming back into it, gaining a bit of momentum. It just shows what a great momentum game this is. Next up, who have we got then?
Will Flynn versus Zach Edel.
Will Flynn versus Zach Edel. Zach trying to get some points on the board for the Mavericks here. Let's see how this one goes. That's me over and out, and we'll see you very soon.
Hello, my name is Sam Candy and I'm the advisor at FLM. FLM are proudly sponsoring the National League, and we are really looking forward to the Super League in April, which is taking place over 4 days at the Queen's Club. This short and sweet video is simply an introduction to what we do and how we do it. Specifically, how we help people in sport. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we help people be in the best possible financial position they can be. Specifically, we ensure that clients achieve their goals and aspirations through holistic and quality financial planning. We work with people long term to build a plan and, importantly, stick to it. We also ensure to educate and improve understanding of the broader financial world to those who don't work in the industry. When it comes to understanding and education on finance, we feel the sport industry specifically is somewhat overlooked, where people have less, possibly, conversations on finances, and there are typically no centralised wellbeing service that would otherwise be available in the classic 9-to-5 office setting. How people are paid, career options, length of career, as well as structure, employed, self-employed, or through a limited company. These are all completely different for the sports industry. Very difficult to navigate through all of this, and that's where we come in. As the key sponsor of the IRTPA's National League, I'm available to you to help. If you are interested in learning more, upskilling financially and getting a plan together to be in a better position, please do reach out. Thank you, and looking forward to the Super League in April. Hello, my name is Sam Candy and I'm the advisor at FLM. FLM are proudly sponsoring the National League, and we are really looking forward to the Super League in April, which is taking place over 4 days at the Queen's Club. This short and sweet video is simply an introduction to what we do and how we do it. Specifically, how we help people in sport. So what is it that we actually do? Well, we help people be in the best possible financial position they can be. Specifically, we ensure that clients achieve their goals and aspirations through holistic and quality financial planning. We work with people long term to build a plan and, importantly, stick to it. We also ensure to educate and improve understanding of the broader financial world to those who don't work in the industry. When it comes to understanding and education on finance, we feel the sport industry specifically is somewhat overlooked, where people have less, possibly, conversations on finances, and there are typically no centralised wellbeing service that would otherwise be available in the classic 9-to-5 office setting. How people are paid, career options, length of career, as well as structure, employed, self-employed, or through a limited company. These are all completely different for the sports industry. Very difficult to navigate through all of this, and that's where we come in. As the key sponsor of the IRTPA's National League, I'm available to you to help. If you are interested in learning more, upskilling financially, and getting a plan together to be in a better position, please do reach out. Thank you, and looking forward to the Super League in April.
Hello and welcome back to Queen's Club for day 2 of the FLM Super League. We are in the first match of the day still, which is between the Mavericks and the Henchmen. And for the first 2 matches, the Henchmen have taken a 2-love lead, nabbing that bonus point for winning the fixture. Well, there is still plenty to play for this match. There's still 1 more point up for grabs, as well as the cash bonus for winning a fixture. So this is by no means a dead rubber. Let's have a quick look at the players for this match. Starting at the receiving end at the moment with Zach Edel from, well, not from anywhere at the moment. He's currently unattached to a club, but he's been doing a lot of work promoting his Timber brand. Handicap of 7.1 and has not had a happy time of it here at Queen's. That court adjustment 2.6, so he's playing 2.6 points worse than his handicap whenever he plays here at Queen's, which is not what he'll want to be thinking about too much today. Zach made the Australian Open quarter-final back in 2018, had a bit of time away from the game really, leading into COVID, came back to it working as a professional up at Jesmond for a period with his father, Mark Edel, who is still up there, and Zach is very well supported by the club up there, living now currently in Oxford, and playing his tennis wherever he can. His opponent today is Will Flynn. Will Flynn coming as an amateur out of the Seacourt Tennis Club. He was under 21s and 24s Open Championship in 2021-2022, though that most recently was won by Ollie Pridmore and Freddie Bristow. The head-to-heads between these two played on 3 previous occasions. most recently at the British Open last November. So we'll get underway now in this 9-game set. As Will deposits that onto the FLM logo, which lets me introduce up here in the commentary books Sam from FLM. How are you doing today, Sam?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, really enjoyed the tennis yesterday and today so far. It's been really good.
It's a great rally developing here. Will's going to look for another grill, just finds the base of that timbre. So Sam, how did FLM get involved in sponsoring Real Tennis?
Well, a sort of connection through the company, really. One of our directors is sort of Real Tennis through his blood, and we really wanted to get involved in sport, and it was a really good sort of link for us to sponsor Real Tennis, which sort of fulfills our want to support sport generally, but also knowing Real Tennis and wanting to be a part of it. We think it's a great game. Really keen to support it where we can. It's been great so far. Really enjoyed it. Don't want to speak too soon, but sort of long may it continue.
So Will Flynn takes the first game there. Looking pretty strong here on this Queen's Club court and finds a winning gallery already. So Sam, in previous years we've had National League, which has been played all around the country. How did this idea to bring it all into Queen's come about?
Good question. So we thought about the different ways we could do it. Obviously got divisions, as you said, across the country over various months. Hits a crescendo, but at the very end, for the very last game at Queen's. But we were keen to do something like perhaps the British Open does, and maybe more of a US format. And so we thought we'd give it a go. And I know there's a couple of pros who sort of headlined this as an idea. Get everyone in one place, more of a tournament feeling over 4 days. So far so good, unless we have some horrendous feedback. It's the sort of format we'd like to keep going forwards.
So how have you found the tennis over the days we've had so far? What's it been like as a sponsor looking on?
It's just been great. I mean, the quality's great to see different teams play with each other that they normally wouldn't play with. Really enjoyed the sort of process of the draw all the way back and how that's progressed, bringing different divisions together. It's been great. I mean, I'm not going to say out loud who I'm fully supporting because I need to remain impartial. But there's a couple of key people on the court who I'm really backing, I suppose, privately. Hopefully they do well. But I think the format's, like I said, the format's good. Really enjoyed it. There's a few of us from FLM yesterday and a few more today. Because we want to sponsor on both levels, but both from a sort of, both from a sponsorship level, but also just supporting on a human level and making being here ourselves.
As Zach just finds that area under the grill. It's going to be an interesting match. Zach's a little bit out of match practice the last little while. didn't play that last Tabba Tour event that he organised at Leamington. So Sam, what's the connection between the wealth management and the sports side of things? What are some of the things that people might not think about there?
Yeah, so it's probably a case of people not having support of an employer, perhaps like you would in an office in London, and perhaps the way people get into sport and sort of what education level they get to, and I suppose the fact is that finance isn't really communicated or talked about generally across the UK. And in sport, you may be paid differently. You may have obviously different length of career, how you get into it, all those sorts of things. So we think it's really key that 100 people in an office might get told about pensions and the way you should handle your money all the time, because that's just the way it works nowadays. In sport, perhaps it's not. People are on court; they're doing an amazing. I mean, it's work and job and playing these tournaments and things. But perhaps the support behind the scenes isn't quite there in terms of financial well-being, and we want to plug that gap. We want to make sure people are well looked after. We love sport, which goes without saying. So that's sort of where it comes into it, to support people, make sure they're just as up to speed with current sort of how things can be handled. That's where it sort of crosses over, really.
That one comes off the frame, just makes its way over the net. Zach is prone to dropping his shoulders a bit when he's not feeling too good. It'll be important for his teammates in the Sligaris to pick him up and carry him through this match. So Sam, what's some of the differences between someone involved in sport, perhaps as a player and a sports person, versus somebody like a coach or a more manager? Like, how, from their finance perspective, how do those two things differ?
In terms of how those two different people would...
Yeah, so how would you approach those two different scenarios? On one hand, someone being a athlete and a sports person, on the other hand, and being a coach or a club professional?
Great question. Maybe a case of career length, sort of how long they might be doing it for, and how that works. Perhaps management or coaching may come from a sort of different angle. Different stage of life. I'm not sure. Maybe there's obviously lots of crossover between the two groups, but certainly in athletes, generally speaking, so in terms of outside of that, 18 to 25, 18 to 30. Whereas a coach may just coach the manager might have different time frames, or we've got a bigger unit. Everyone's focused on the athlete, but probably maybe the athletes themselves are so focused on the sport, obviously, because that's their role in that. That anything else may get, I suppose, brushed aside. Whereas a coach or a manager might sort of be part of, perhaps a different structure or employed or something, and they may still have that sort of those conversations, perhaps. There's obviously going to be some crossover, but generally there is a bit of a difference. So it's just how you approach those people, and because we work with lots of sports professionals, a lot of names people will definitely have heard of. We understand both athletes. We do look after coaches and managers, but we do look after a lot of athletes. So we do understand sort of the different perspectives they may have, and perhaps different age groups as well.
What are some of the risks from a financial perspective that an athlete needs to think about and consider when it comes to their wealth management?
Great questions. Perhaps I think it might come down to, again, if we're talking generally an athlete as opposed to a specific sport, we're talking about perhaps, like I said, age, perhaps the multitude of earnings, generally speaking, maybe earlier on in life, as opposed to just sort of going up and up as you reach, I don't know, 60. I mean, I'm generalising, but just for some context. And perhaps the speed at which it goes up. You know, a young, whatever, tennis or footballer or boxer or whatever, rugby that may be earning, you know, against the average UK salary, about that for the first couple of years, but suddenly within a year or two of being signed by a new team or whatever, may find themselves in a much more affluent position very quickly, but without the knowledge of how to deal with that. And that's quite an interesting space. So it's just handling and helping people with that, you know, sort of quick change, perhaps.
Fantastic, as we're seeing Will Flynn hammering down some cut volleys. Great return of serve by Flynn. I think both of these two players generally have had some struggles with their mental application at times on the court. We've seen a few meltdowns by either player, so hopefully we don't see any of that today. And then what about beyond sports? So there will be people listening who aren't necessarily sports people, who might generally be young or starting their careers, or might be towards the back half of their careers, but what other services is FLM involved in?
Do you mean what do we do for people?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we I suppose word wealth management is sort of, people might think, you know, oh, it's you know, I need millions before I can get involved in that. That's really not the case. Financial advice, where we're very different to other firms, is tax efficiency. We have accountants, we have tax advisors. It's all under one roof. So we can help someone who's got complexity, estate planning, but equally someone saving for a house, someone wanting to put some monthly money into an ISA, understanding pensions and the rules around pensions, and a multitude of other things. You know, they're just sort of three of the things that we tend to deal with, because most people in the UK have a pension and want to save for a house at some point and need to do a tax return. But you know, we do lots under that umbrella, which is good. And to be honest, there's not many people we can't help, I think is the outcome. There's always someone we can help and add value to across someone's finances, somewhere we can save tax. So you know, sport's a big thing for us, because we feel there's a need and we want to fill it and we enjoy that. But equally, we're not solely looking to speak to athletes. It's about just anyone we meet. Can we improve their position, reduce tax, improve returns, and yeah, that's what it's all about.
Without wanting to give too many of the secrets away, what are some of the big picture things that perhaps people at the start of their careers should be thinking about?
So, you know, probably things people have heard before but don't act on. Invest early and often. Don't live beyond your means. I think, you know, save before you spend, even if it's 20 quid, 50 quid, whatever the relative amount that works for you, but something goes away first before you spend the rest. And then when you spend the rest, you enjoy it. You don't have buyer's remorse when you buy something you shouldn't have done. It's okay if you've put some money aside first. And then also weigh the money. So the wrapper, what it's physically going into, can make a massive outcome to the end result. Huge, I mean, absolutely huge outcome. ISAs, pensions, investment. I mean, the list is long, and also the funds. But generally, where you put the money and putting it somewhere first, even if it's small, and starting early. It is never too early to put money away for your future. But it's the biggest mistake people make. They don't do that. They get to later in their life, and then it is very expensive to invest and make sure you're all set for the future. So I think early and often, and there's no one would be in a worse position for putting some more money aside. is the fact of the matter.
This game is getting to a bit of a critical point now. Will is at risk of running away with it, really. That one just finds the frame from the force. So Flynn up to a 4-1 lead already. Zach needs to find something and find it quickly. Remember that Will's two teammates both came through with victories, so this for Will would make it a 4-love in terms of points for the Henchmen. So Sam, how much of this top level tennis have you seen before this week?
I was here for the British Open for the last couple of years and National League for the last 3, which has been great. But I've watched field tennis across over a few of the clubs, but I think I've got a bit of a gap in my knowledge and experience in terms of I need to get on the court.
Yep.
And enjoy some of the other sort of cups and trophies and things. But yeah, I mean, watching some of the big names play is an absolute. I mean, watching everyone play is a joy, but certainly the top players, the level is just extreme. It's extraordinary, and it's a pleasure to watch.
Absolutely, these are amazing athletes, all of them. Short chase here. And we'll let that one go. He's cruising towards a 5-1 lead here. I think at the moment Zach has taken to a just smack everything strategy. It's not really working well for him at the moment. It didn't work well for him in his last outing on a real tennis court, which was at the Tambatua in Prested, which he lost in the first round to today's marker Vaughan Hamilton. Very deft from Will Flynn, just easing the shot into that forehand side. Not a lot that Zach could do about it, and he is not looking happy about it, Zach Edel. The rest of this match could go quite quickly, I think. Second gallery is the chase. Zach really needs to string some points together now. So Will Flynn, growing up in the junior ranks, was known as one of the hardest hitters in the game. He's changed his game a lot over the last year or two, just to introduce a bit more of that subtlety to it. So Sam, have you enjoyed the Queen's Club hospitality so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Everyone's been super lovely, nice. Queens has been supportive and hospitality's been lovely. Genuinely appreciated. It makes a difference, both from a sponsorship perspective, but also from a person who wants to watch and a spectator. It's been great. Yeah, really thankful. Much appreciated.
So FLM aren't just sponsoring the Super League event, you're also sponsoring National League throughout much of the rest of the season. What's it like having the presence at pretty much all the clubs in the UK through all the tournament, the matches that happen week in, week out there?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's the sort of format now works at the end of it, as it were, bit of a crescendo. But yeah, absolutely, to allow players to, or I should say, for players to be able to play, you know, across the months in the various divisions at the various clubs on a club level is great. Sort of make sure everyone's included in it to the best of one's ability, and then to have this as a sort of the end point. Yeah, it's really nice. Like I said, I think the format's great. You know, feedback welcome on slightly changing it from last year. So yeah, it's something we enjoy doing.
That's for Zach to grab a game now. He's first in a while, and that will do it. That beats the chase. So it's critical for Zach to try and build up a few games in a row. Flynn does have a chance to really put this away over the next 5-10 minutes or so. So Sam, what's the having all the spectators coming through, and have you been speaking to many people in the members bar and so on over the course of the week so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good conversations, good people. I mean, you know, to be honest, it's a wonderful group of people to meet. Network is sort of lovely. Yet to meet someone we haven't had a really nice conversation with. Genuinely, I mean, the people we've met, both here and me around the clubs over the last couple of years, have just been extremely inviting, friendly, which is great. You know, as a sponsor, you know, we do want to speak to people and that sort of thing. But you know, from pretty much any angle, it's been great. Been great to speak to people and you know, hear how they're a part of it as well. You know, because there's a lot of spectatorship and you know, people sort of from a benefactor level, from a player level, and pros supporting pros and amateurs being involved. You know, it's great. Yeah, it's been really good.
And how's the response been from the playing professionals to having FLM involved in the game?
So far, so good. Like I said, if they, you know, I think we'll have a debrief after the tournament ends. Anything we need to be doing differently, and obviously logistics is a big thing for the players, because they're not, or the ones that are here are not all from Queens, obviously. So, you know, keen to hear feedback. But generally, yeah, loved it. I think so far I've heard that they've, you know, the team format and playing over a number of days, and playing with people they don't normally play with, having a really good mix. Yeah, I think it's been good. And like I said, unless there's some something we've completely overlooked, people are pretty happy so far, and you know, we're here to support, you know, players to be able to play and play for something, and yeah, bring them together.
So Will Flint just finding a couple of chases there. Zach, geez, that body language from Zach Edel doesn't look positive at all. I'd like to see, can't quite see into the side galleries to see if Taylor Matthews is down there, his team captain. I think he's got, because of the, there you go, there's the Mavericks team sitting next to the part of the Henchmen's team in that Hazard First gallery. Really got to try and lift Zach here, you imagine. those players lined up, and Zach's girlfriend Molly. So second gallery is the chase. Is to bring Zach back to 3-5. Came out of nowhere. Just Zaki just picked up the pace. Flynn a little bit off guard. There's it, that one. It just trickles over. Off the frame. Flynn did get up to a 5-1 lead early on. So that just getting a little bit back into it now. So you've said you've been to a few of these events. Have you? How much have you played yourself then, Sam?
That's a bad question. A pitiful amount. No, I won't rule out all the usual excuses like time and having a young family and things at work. But I've played a couple of times at Queen's, and actually I'm quite generally been offered a couple of games across the couple of different clubs, so I'm going to make the time because I actually really enjoyed it when I initially played. I think I have the rules in my head.
They can be complicated though.
Yeah, I think sort of chasing and things and sort of the double bounce and that sort of thing. I'm gonna if I was on court playing quickly, I would 100% not be able to mark. But I'd get enough to be able to play and enjoy it like I did before. So I've got the kit and yeah.
Well, I think always one of the things with this game is once you get past the chase route and you get your head around it, it really becomes super fascinating because you get so much tactics and different things that can happen every time you go on court. You see something brand new.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to get to that level. That's the fact of the matter. I need to. I just need to watch games, play a few. Perhaps there would be. I already enjoy watching. I get it. I can see the tactics in play, but for me to understand better, I think I'll just enjoy it even more because there's just another level of it, isn't it?
And that's an unfortunate one for Will. It's just stuck down the back of that back wall. Yeah, no, I think in general, I think the game really attracts the kinds of people who have an inquisitive mind and want to challenge themselves both physically and mentally. You really got to.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
So Flynn has hit that one back onto the back penthouse. Back penthouse is flown up in the air over the net again, so it's not fallen on the ground anywhere, so that counts as a stroke in Zach's favour. It's essentially like it never went over the net in the first place. And that one I think Will had given up on, saw it going into that grill. didn't quite. He'd already stopped running. He probably could have covered it if he kept going into it, but fortunately for him, it's out for a hazard better than half a yard. So if you had to describe a hazard chase to someone, do you reckon you could?
No. I knew that was coming, and no, I'm not going to do it now. I think if I was watching it and saw a few happen, I'd be able to reel off how it works, but I'm not doing it now.
Yeah.
It's just be embarrassing.
So we'll just stop the point there. Zach. Trying to figure out what happened there. Will stopped as if it had gone out of court. Zach was adamant that it hadn't. And so it has ended up as a game to Zach. He definitely could have hit that. It was a very strange decision not to. And we'll get there up on the replay in just a second. Oh, fantastic volley over the back of the shoulder from Will Flynn. He's so good at those volleys above shoulder height. I've seen it many times at the Seacourt Silver Racket over the years. Within reach of pulling it back level now. So there's a big point coming up. Just for Flynn to get on the board for the first time in 3 games. That did well there, just playing that one off the timber, just behind his stance. Flynn not able to finish the stroke. So let's just have a look on the replay of that one before, playing off the hazard chase. So Zach has hit the ball, it's come up, and it's just come on the top part of the out of court there. And if we look at it from the other angle, that won't tell us anything. Yeah, so it's just, I think that's stayed in, because I think if it's hit the green of the out of court line from that angle, it would have deflected more. That's very close. Back live. So last gallery chase for 5-4. So Sam, is how many other people at FLM have gotten involved with this or come along to see some real tennis or shown any interest in it?
Yeah, we have a couple of people who've played in the office and a couple of people who are members at Queen's. Today yesterday we had 3, we've got 3 today, and then we'll have a few more on Saturday, which will be good. So generally speaking, quite a good sort of support, because we always want to support on a human level, as it were, FaceTime, as well as from a corporate sponsorship position. But it's been good, and one of my colleagues, we're teaching her the rules. Obviously, having said I don't understand them 100%, but try and getting people on understanding the rules. And one of my colleagues doesn't know, but they're going on court tomorrow to have a little head around because they haven't tried it before. But yeah, it's been good support internally.
What are the other kind of initiatives that FLM's involved with around the UK at the moment?
Couple of happening at the moment, which I can't quite say disclose yet. But we've got quite a lot of football clubs and Chelsea Football Club particularly supporting younger footballers through their journey, like I described earlier, and a couple of golf sort of tournaments. This is obviously really important to us. Also getting involved in sort of rugby union, and I suppose from a sort of club level. So again, the sort of younger athletes perhaps, and getting involved with clubs to provide education and support and well-being. Great if we end up working with them, which is fantastic, and just adding value where we can, really. Sort of a win-win from our perspective. Great to have our name up in the right places, but equally actually physically helping people is what matters. There's probably a whole list of things that a couple of colleagues are doing that I even the last couple of weeks actually, because we've really what we're doing in sport and club levels is really important.
Because presumably having the human contact is so important to building those relationships with your clients.
100%. You can't do this from a. You can do some of it from home, in terms of Teams and Zoom and that sort of stuff, and that's fine. That's sort of there's an efficiency to that, but you can't do a bit of FaceTime. Turning up, supporting.
Exactly, bringing the heat. This is where he kind of was when he got into a bit of a hole the first half of the set, just trying to force everything. He just needs to stay calm. Oh, that shot over the head smash from Will Flynn. That's more like what you'd see on a doubles lawn tennis court. Yeah, so for people who are listening on the stream and aren't able to come down to Queen's, what kind of involvement could they have, and what kind of interaction could they have with FLM?
Oh, great question. So I suppose it's a case of what we can do for them. There's no one ever that we wouldn't want to speak to, have a conversation with. As I said, sport is a focus, but the people around that, or even people who are just not sporty and that way inclined, we're keen to speak to anyone. So from an interaction level would be, if there's anyone listening or sees our logo and sees our brochures and Googles us and that sort of thing and looks me up on LinkedIn and all that, if you think there's any chance that you could be, saving tax and handling finances just a little bit better, reach out. I'd be happy to have a conversation with absolutely anyone. And the fact is, if I can help you, I'll tell you straight away. But equally, if I'm not right for you, I joke that if we don't get on, and or I just essentially I just can't do much for you, that's okay. There's no obligation, there's no cost to having a conversation. So that's where we are. We're really there's absolutely no barrier to conversations. So I welcome any and all, because I've met very few people who I haven't been able to help, regardless of what they do, you know, and what stage they're at, and all sorts. You know, it's a greatly rewarding job in that respect, because there's no one I can't help. Is how I see it. But that's the sort of interaction. Or if they want to talk about real tennis, we can do that too.
What's the if someone does set up a meeting or a consultation or whatever, what's that first interaction generally like? What's the process?
Getting to know them. That is it. We take time to understand someone's position, what they do, how they do it, you know, all aspects of their life. It's obviously all completely confidential. We don't disclose anything to literally anyone. And we just take time to get to know someone, what their priorities are, what's going on at the moment, and then we go and put some advice together and come back with that advice. And if that person wants to carry on the discussion, that's fantastic, but equally they're not obliged to.
Ultimately ending in Flynn just putting that ball high. Out for a hazard chase. Still just needs one more game now to close out this match. That's up out of court. So 15 love to Flynn. Hazard chase pending. Like we've seen through most of the match, when Zach's been in trouble, he's just trying to hit his way out, which hasn't really worked, I would suggest. The period between 5-2 and 5-4 where Flynn was just looking in a bit of a down state himself, but Flynn just has lifted ever so slightly in this last little bit. Two hazard chases now. We probably will expect Flynn to attack these. We've seen a few times a couple of the players playing those hazard chases off the high back wall. So a somewhat controversial shot, all things considered, but only 2 points away. Two hazard chases, as they say in Australia. A hazard's as good as a point. Railroads from Zach Edel now. Cannot afford this serve to be loose. There's that high back wall. Zach manages to chase it down. That leaves the back of the court open. He got a racket frame on it, and that would have been an incredible shot had it gone over. But as it stands, that brings up match point. That's a chase. And Zach has given up that. Will Flynn takes the match 9 games to 5. What a great contest. Flynn getting the better of Zach in revenge for that British Open first round match back in November. Well, Sam, thanks so much for joining us up here on the live stream.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Let you get back down to to the members bar and all that you're doing down there.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate good questions. Apart from the one about do I know the rules, but yeah, really appreciate your time and some great tennis and proud to sponsor.
All right, fantastic, Sam. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
And we'll just have a quick look at the match stats. So that will be the end of this particular match. The Henchmen take it 3 rubbers to love. They'll get the full 4 points from this fixture. And we will now go for a half-hour break. We'll be back at 6 o'clock for the next match between the Slayers and the Forces. That will be here on the Tennis and Rackets Association YouTube channel in partnership with the IRTPA. From all of us here at Queen's Club, we hope to see you again in about half an hour's time. Bye for now.